poppin', y'all? Today we're gonna do Charlie Kirk's most powerful debunk on systematic racism. Maybe I should get a book. Should get a little notebook, cause he about to say some bullshit. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. We still gonna do your reactions. I don't hate you. We're Americans. We can have disagreements and still get along and love each other. R.I.P. to Charlie Kirk, but let's get into it. Let's hop right into it. No time to waste.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Andrew.
What's up, Andrew?
All right. So I wanted to talk with you about, again, the 1350. So earlier I did chime in when you were talking with Jackson. You said 2020 with the George Floyd protests that nobody was talking about the new.
Keep in mind, I want y'all to fact check me on this. Make sure you understand this. Charlie Kirk stated in a tweet, I think it was a tweet. No, matter of fact, I'm sure it was a tweet. It was a tweet. He said George Floyd died from fentanyl overdose or something like that, right? Then the people who do the autopsy came back and said that's not how he died. It was asphyxiation of the neck. That means that the police officer strangled him, right? So then George Floyd came. So then Charlie Kirk came out and made an apology because he was wrong about what killed George Floyd, right? So I want to see in this conversation, is he going to be honest about what happened? Because what killed George Floyd was the officer's knees to his fucking neck. Point blank, period. Nothing more, nothing less. But let's see if he's honest about it. And he might be. I don't know. Let's see.
Nuclear family, which I think that they're separate issues.
Okay, but that's fine. But can you first acknowledge that no one was talking about the nuclear family?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, great. Why do you think that no one ever talks about the nuclear family at all publicly?
Maybe a lack of importance, and I mean,
he didn't go to the okay. He didn't go to George Floyd. He left that, so cool. But I'm still waiting on that. Remember what I said with that. But the nuclear family conversation, man, that shit ain't gonna work. Everybody wasn't raised that way, man. So because everybody's not raised with a nuclear family, that's not gonna help society. It would help if we could find a way to get people to be like that. But it's just, there's no way to do it unless we incentivize people to do it in some way. But that means we gotta give them money. And that's something that the right doesn't want to do, so.
Obviously, it's
we ain't gonna go far with that.
You know, you have a father and a mother growing up. That's very crucial to childhood.
We agree.
Yes. But to get to my point, in 2020 with the George Floyd protests...
riots.
Riots or protests. Depends.
Were they riots or protests?
Protests. Protests.
All right. Well, we disagree on that, but to get to my point...
Sure.
To get to my point...
were they mostly peaceful?
Yes.
I believe so, yes.
Most of them were peaceful. They literally were.
Please let Andrew talk. Let Andrew talk. It takes a lot.
But this goes to show, like, who sees what, right? Because some of them were bad, right? But they only showed Fox News people the bad ones. They showed the left the good ones. So, like, it was like that conversation that's happening right now. I'm fair with this because I understand why they think they were mostly bad. That's all they showed them was the bad. I understand. Oh, okay.
Christian, come up. I'm going to defend you. Please
no, it's
continue.
okay. People can disagree, but I just like to get my point off. So I think police brutality and the nuclear family are two separate issues, okay? So I think that there is over-policing in black neighborhoods. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Not even close. Under-policing, actually. And don't take my word for it. Again, like half of all murders in Chicago aren't even solved. That's bad, right?
Okay, but that's Chicago, okay?
Well, but again... About only 60% in Baltimore are solved. It's across the country. But Chicago is America's third largest city, New York, LA, Chicago. Let's just pause right here.
Can I ask a question? Like, I want to say Chicago isn't even ranked #1 of the most dangerous places to live. I don't even want to look it up. Never mind. We're just going to keep going.
In order to solve murders, you need detectives, which are police officers. So we should agree that if you commit a murder, we should find out who it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So half of all murders are not solved. You can fact check me on this. Chicago murder solve rate 50%. You guys can all fact check me on this. So should we need more police then?
I never said I disagree about defunding the police.
No, but you said over-policed. I don't think...
I want you to keep in mind right now, though, since we don't like defunding the police, I want to throw something else out there. Donald Trump is trying to defund police in New York. Go look it up. Go research it. Y'all need to go do something about that if y'all don't believe in defunding the police, right? So, like, Donald Trump is trying to defund the police right now in New York. I'm just saying. And I don't believe in defunding the police either. I think... I do think it's weird, man. It's a back and forth. I think the black community is over-policed. But at the same time, I think they don't care enough about black bodies to try to even figure things out. They just care about arresting them and throwing them in prison. That's it.
We have enough. So show me an example. Show me a city where we have too many police, and be specific.
Well, I can't come up with any specific example.
Well, but you said that we're over-policed. You got to give me some specifics. It can't be an abstraction. You got to tell me the city in America that is over-policed, because I'd be interested to know about that city.
Well, like I said, I don't have any specific examples, but I'm going to...
Because it doesn't exist, though.
I'm going to pivot really quick, if that's okay.
Before you pivot, I just want to teach you something, Andrew. It's easy to say that you're over-policed. You got to back up the data. There's no incident in the country of any city that's over-policed. It does not exist. We have a police staffing shortage in this country. We don't have enough police, but please pivot.
Okay.
It's both. Like, some areas are over-policed and some areas don't have enough police. It's both. Like, it's both. Like, God.
So, to get
This
back...
is why I'm not good with left-wing and right-wing politics, man. Because it seems like when you stick on one side, you end up finding a way to debunk the other side. I don't know. You're either finding a way to debunk what you believe in the long term. I think everybody should be just right in the middle. Like,
Really, to get back to my point, I think police brutality and the culture, black culture, is two separate things. I think police officers kneeling on someone's neck for 9 minutes is a completely separate incident.
What was George Floyd's cause of death?
Asphyxiation.
Actually, the original medical report by the Hennepin County Examiner said that it was a drug overdose. Did you know that?
But that was hired by the...
I need you guys. When was this? This was 10 months ago. And I know it was like a year ago. It was like a year or two ago when he posted this. Go research what I just told you. He's literally lying through his teeth. He's literally lying through his teeth. Go research what he said. He apologized because when they came out and said that it was asphyxiation by the neck after the trial. It wasn't even after the trial. It was the I forgot what it was called, man. But definitely that. Just research it. Just research it, y'all. Trust me. He's lying through his teeth. George Floyd died from asphyxiation from the neck.
The state. An independent coroner reported
It's
that it was
interesting.
asphyxiation.
You might be right, but if you guys love truth, you should go and dive into the Derek Chauvin court documents. There's a lot more to the George Floyd situation than anyone ever told you. It really is. And it's a great video. And I'm not even, you might be right, but there's so much more to that.
He might be right. He is right.
Circumstance of George Floyd that was overdosing on drugs, right? That also, did you know that what Derek Chauvin did to George Floyd was actually in the police manual training? It was completely justified and was trained by his superiors to do. Now, let me ask you a question.
That's a lie, too. Literally in the trial, they said they do not train their officers to do that. They do not train their officers to put their knee on the neck for that long. They don't do it. So, you guys telling me this guy didn't stand for any kind of white supremacy at all? I'm just curious. Like, this guy didn't stand for something that was wrong, something that was off. Ugh.
How many unarmed black people, on average, are killed by police a year?
Well, I'd have to look up that.
It's a small number.
Guess.
Probably
100, maybe.
over 50%.
It's 15 people a year. 15. And that's not my number, that's the Washington Post that came up with it and did a national crime survey. And they even were generous and they said unarmed, meaning you had a weapon nearby or you had a knife that you dropped. So you're talking about police brutality for an incident that happens 15 times a year in a country of 350 million people.
I think we need to research that because there have been it's been over 300 police shootings just in this year alone, right? So I think that needs to be researched. And out of the percentages of people shot by the police, black people get unalived 50% more than white. No, it's like 60% more than white people. So if it's only 15, that means that there has to be only 7 or 8 white people that are unalived. And there were 300 police unalivings in the year. These numbers don't add up. They don't add up to what he's saying. Like, I don't know. I mean, do the research, y'all. Do the research. I know this year in 2025, there's been 300 police shootings so far. So I don't know, that math doesn't seem to math, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but that math ain't mathing.
Well, how come? My question to you then: how come you see it so often on social media?
Because that's a good question, Andrew. Because you're being propagandized. You're being brainwashed is the name of this tour, and I'm here to tell you that you see it. So you actually don't see it as often as you think. This is emotional, targeted video, and to have you think that something exists when it doesn't, we look at the data like, oh, it's 15 times a year. 15 times a year, and it's even lower than that. But do you know what does happen a lot every single year? Is that there's over 100,000 drug overdoses every single year. We don't talk about that. We should. We should totally agree, right? But yet we have this whole thing about police brutality, and no one can ever give me examples where there's too many police, and that's okay, I'm not just picking on you. Just in general, it's easy to get caught up in the abstractions. It's easy to get caught up in the parade and in all the bedlam. But when you dive into it, you realize that it's all brainwashing and it's propaganda.
I guess what I would say in response to that is when you do your own independent research, you can find data to skew in any direction you want it.
Yeah, you can.
Post. I'm not just making this stuff up.
You can. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. Maybe there's data that shows only 15 black people got shot this year, or last year, or the year before. But what I'm seeing is the number of police shootings that are happening. It's a lot more than 15. and it's bad police unaliving anybody because they're supposed to be, it depends on the reason too. So I don't know. I guess it depends on the reason too. So, I mean, there's a lot that can go into that. But hey, let's talk about, let's get to the systematic racism part. I want to hear that.
Well, this is the left, I'm using left-wing sources here. This is not Breitbart.com or Gateway Pundit or the Charlie Kirk Show or the Daily Wire, right?
The Washington Post is not a left-wing source.
This is the left-wing sources, and I'm not cherry-picking because you said police brutality. So then I pinpoint, okay, how many black people are then killed unarmed by police every year? Boom, that's the number. In a population, by the way, where there's tens of millions of black Americans, it's an insignificant sum. And you know that more kids are killed in urban violence going to school or walking the playground than blacks are killed by police? Yeah, we don't talk about that as much. The question then is why?
Yes, we do. That's why you're bringing it up. That's the right's argument back. The right is consistently arguing blacks kill each other with blacks. And it's interesting because Charlie was unalived by white-on-white crime that we don't talk about. I think we don't talk much about white-on-white crime. That's what we don't talk about. But we do talk about black-on-black crime. That's why you're repeating it. Everybody in the audience knows about black-on-black crime.
Is that here's my belief, is that black America is so abused by the current mainstream media, it's abused by the Democrat Party, and they don't want black Americans to think freely or independently that they have been used as pawns by the Democrat Party for the last 60 years. That's exactly what is happening right now, and I pray people are starting to wake up. The final thought, Andrew?
I guess I don't really have anything.
That's okay. I encourage you to do this. Fact check me later. Find out what the unsolved murder rate is in Chicago. See if Charlie Kirk was right. Look at the Washington Post crime database and find out, was it really 15 unarmed blacks that were killed by police year by year? Sometimes as low as 8, sometimes it's 20, so the average is about 15, okay? Go and look at The Biggest Lie Ever Told, the George Floyd documentary. Go look at the original Hennepin County medical. Don't just take my word for it. Do that research. And in that research, if you're like, oh, dang, I was lied, use that as what we call taking the red pill. And you'll see how deep this rabbit hole goes. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Can I shake your hand?
Yeah, God bless, man. Thank you. Thank you, Andrew.
That was a great conversation.
Give it up for Andrew. That's not easy to do.
So one thing I did like about Charlie Kirk, he would have the conversation.
Everybody, thanks so much for watching.
For sure, man. But he would have the conversation. That's what I really appreciated about Charlie Kirk, and that's what sucked, man. He didn't deserve to be unalived, but you know, it sucks, man. But I definitely have massive disagreements, as you can see, with Charlie Kirk, but he is a fellow American at the same time, though. So respect your opinion and your ability to be able to have it, and RIP to him. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.